We welcome all of you for a medical presentation given by very senior doctors, Dr. Sandeep Rai and Dr. Madhur Rai, on the health benefits of Sahaj Yoga, the research that has been done, and its application on mental health. Sahaj Yoga is a very simple and spontaneous meditation. More than 140 countries practice Sahaj Yoga, and people from all walks of life, faith, culture, religion can practice it. We are very fortunate to have with us Dr. Sandeep Rai and Dr. Madhur Rai, a couple dedicated to Sahaj Yoga who have traveled all over the world to give the very rare and precious knowledge of the medical and health benefits through Sahaj Yoga meditation. Dr. Sandeep Rai is a senior professor and unit head in Department of Medicine at the MGM Institute of Health Science and also the senior consultant physician at the Apollo Hospital, Navi Mumbai. Dr. Madhur Rai is currently the prime investigator of research program on Sahaj Yoga in the Department of Physiology at the MGM Institute. She was also the former CEO and Chief Medical Officer of International Sahaj Yoga Research and Health Center, Navi Mumbai. Both of them have been invited abroad in many United Nations and World Health Organization sponsored global medical conferences in Germany, Italy, Russia, Malaysia, Singapore, Dubai, Sri Lanka, USA and many other places as a distinguished guest speaker to speak on Sahaj Yoga and the health benefits. We will be very happy to know that Dr. Sandeep Rai was recently conferred the prestigious Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam Lifetime Achievement National Award for his contribution in the field of medicine and nation building.
Good evening, everyone, and greetings from MGM Institute of Health Sciences, Navi Mumbai. Now, this presentation, I will do it in two parts. The first part will deal with the medical researches on Sahaj Yoga and its application in mental health. And the second part will be done by my wife, who's a physiologist, Dr. Madhur Rai. She'll talk about practical aspects of Sahaj Yoga and a little bit about its history and evolution. So now you know the world is in a state of mental health crisis. Depression is affecting about 264 million people globally, and suicide is becoming the leading cause of death. And the Director General WHO has recently said that pandemics has impacted the mental health of millions of people across the world. And so many people we know in our surroundings, in our community, are feeling stress and anxiety because of this pandemic. And if we just see why a person gets stressed, then we'll come to know that the stressors are all around us. But we'll see some person who gets stressed, he can take the stress. Some person can get stressed very easily at a small thing, and another person takes it very nicely. So what is the difference? The difference is the coping resources which you have. And the coping resources, one of the time-tested and scientifically proven coping resource for stress has been meditation. In India, most of us know, but Western media is picking up it very fast. And as recently as 3 months back, Harvard Medical School recommended yoga and meditation to deal with the present coronavirus anxiety. Now, this is Sahaj Yoga meditation. We came across this meditation about 3 decades back. We came across Dr. Nirmala Devi Srivastava. She is popularly known as Her Holiness Shri Mataji Nirmala Devi. She is a doctorate in cognitive science and twice Nobel Peace Prize nominee and an awardee of the United Nations Peace Prize. She established and in a way rediscovered Sahaj Yoga in 1970. And what she told was that it's the awakening of the dormant spiritual energy lying in every human being, which when awakened, balances your energy plexuses, finally actualizes in the limbic system, and through the limbic system, it calms your mind and makes a person stress-free and can feel a state of bliss. So Professor Rai, who was at that time in mid-80s, was the professor and head of department of Lady Hardinge Medical College of the Physiology Department and was the vice principal of the medical school, started these pioneering researches. He was earlier head of the department at JIPMER and also head of department at Maulana Azad Medical College, New Delhi. And they started researching on whether the sympathetic effects of meditation and how it de-stresses a person. So they took a small number of these patients. This was a pilot study. They made the persons meditate for 12 to 16 weeks, and they saw that the heart rate was coming down. They saw that the systolic blood pressure came down. They saw the diastolic pressure came down. They saw that the respiratory rate was coming down, and also the skin galvanic resistance, which measures the sweatiness of the hands, was increased. Now, all these parameters, this was an MD physiology thesis, and all these parameters showed, in short, that Sahaj Yoga was knocking off the overactive sympathetic system, which is a cardinal manifestation of stress. Then we wanted to see the parasympathetic system, which is the relaxation switch of the body. And this study again was done at MGM Institute of Health Sciences with our department and Dr. Madhur Rai, the physiology department, and the very sophisticated equipment from BRC, which converts the heart rate variability into graphic representation of sympathetic and parasympathetic activity. We studied many subjects before meditation and during meditation. And during meditation, what we saw, these are the graphs. The red peaks are the sympathetic, the yellow peaks are the parasympathetic. And just after a few minutes of meditation, the red peak sympathetic going down and the parasympathetic going up, showing that the parasympathetic activation takes place in this meditation. Then we wanted to see bad molecules. This is a study done by my MD student in medicine under my supervision. And what we did a lot of parameters, including nitric oxide measurements in meditators, endothelial functions, stress parameters. But few, I will tell you, we did the stress hormone cortisol, and we found that cortisol levels decreased significantly in patients who were long-term meditators. And this is the graph showing that serum cortisol was very low in long-term meditators. This is another research by Professor Rai in Lady Hardinge, which shows the bad molecules lactic acid decreased in patients who were meditating. And then we showed that urinary VMA, which is a breakdown product of adrenaline, that decreased significantly in patients in 12 to 16 weeks, patients who were meditating. So all these things showed that the bad molecules of stress were decreasing, the overactive sympathetic system was getting knocked off, and the restful, restoring parasympathetic system was increasing in the body. Now, motivated by these researches, many other investigators who were practicing Sahaj Yoga started doing these researches in other parts of the world. And these are the researches on meditation and anxiety, which is the mental health core area of concern nowadays. And this is a study done by Morgan in 2001, where he took about 24 depressed patients and he divided them into the Sahaj Yoga meditation, cognitive behavior therapy, and control groups. And after 6 weeks of meditation, he see the last group, that Sahaj Yoga group showed a lot of decrease in anxiety and a lot of decrease in depression compared to the cognitive behavior therapy and the controls. Now, this is a study which we did at the MGM Institute of Health Sciences along with the International Sahaj Yoga Research Center, also located in Navi Mumbai. And here we studied about 178 patients from all over the world, maybe from about 20 to 30 countries, who had come to the Sahaj Yoga Center for deepening in meditation and learning Sahaj Yoga. And we took these patients and they did 2 weeks of intensive meditation, and we found that those who had anxiety and depression pre-meditation, when they came after 2 weeks of meditation, was significantly improved. And so this research was published in the Journal of Neurosciences. This is another significant study of effect of Sahaj Yoga on neurocognitive functions. This is done at Lady Hardinge Medical College and published in a PubMed listed journal, Indian Journal of Physiology and Pharmacology. Again, they took 30 patients who were depressed, and all these patients were on antidepressants. So one group of 15 patients, they gave Sahaj Yoga meditation seminars, and on the other group of 15 patients continued standard care. And what they found out after the study was that those patients who meditated had these depressed patients had increased in verbal working memory, had increased in the attention span, as an increase in the visuomotor speed. of these patients. So this study was also a very significant study which showed that even on antidepressants, if patients practice Sahaja Yoga meditation, they can become better. And this is a study done by a PhD student, Sheng Chia from Pittsburgh University. She came to Mumbai to do this study, and this was done with Mahatma Gandhi, our medical college, MGM Medical College, along with Pittsburgh University and the International Yoga Center. And she did a very, very nicely statistically analyzed study. Only 1 week of meditation, she showed decreased anxiety in patients as compared to controls, in patients who were doing Sahaja Yoga treatment. Not only anxiety, she showed blood pressure of these patients came down and quality of life significantly increased. Again, published in a PubMed listed journal called Journal of Complementary Medicine, an American journal. Now coming to mental health at work, a big problem. 60 to 70% people feel stress at work, and millions of people working days are lost due to anxiety and depression. And this is a very good study done by Dr. Ramesh Manocha, lecturer in psychiatry in Australia and Sydney, at Sydney Medical School. He took 178 patients. This was a randomized controlled trial, full-time workers. He took 8 weeks. Meditation was done two times a week. And he studied 3 parameters: stress, anxiety, and depression. And he found that those people who were doing this Sahaja Yoga mental silence meditation did very well with their depression, with their anxiety, and with their stress, as compared to those patients who were randomized to relaxation or to the waiting list control. This was also published in an evidence-based complementary and alternative medicine journal, which is again a PubMed listed journal. And now coming to what happens to children. So they saw that small children who were suffering from attention deficit syndrome. This is done by Dr. Katya Rubia, who's the professor of neurocognitive sciences at the London School. At the King's College London. And what she saw was that 26 children she meditated them for 6 weeks, and she found that Ritalin is the medicine they use for attention deficit, and Ritalin medicine was reduced in 40% of the patient and could be stopped in 16%. So good effect of this. Now coming to emotional intelligence, we know that ability to integrate emotion is one of the major problems of these people with mental illness. And so this study was done, the Swinburne University of Technology at Australia. This was a Master of Science project done by Shireen Manocha, where very briefly I'm going to tell you that this shows that those people who were meditating had more clarity of emotions and could repair their emotions better than those people who were non-meditating. Now, all these studies over the last 30 years from various parts of the world was meta-analyzed by Tom Hendricks. He's a professor of psychology at the University of Suriname. And after analyzing all these randomized controlled trials, the cohort studies, the cross-sectional studies, what he found was that the statistical evidence was quite strongly supporting that Sahaja Yoga meditation was very beneficial in depression, stress, and anxiety. Now, how it affects the mind very well, we have seen. It affects the stress very well, we have seen. How it affects your brain. So these were very sophisticated studies done by Aftenans and Golokoshain from the psychophysiology lab at the State Research Institute of Physiology, Russian Academy of Medical Sciences, Siberia, where they did researches over 5-6 years continuously. And very briefly, I'm going to tell you, they showed that long-term meditators had increased theta activity and coherence over the frontoparietal areas, suggesting internalized attention, more focused attention. They also showed better connectivity of the brain in different areas. They also showed that chaotic complexity of the brain decreased. They showed that thought appearance rates decrease, that is the worry in the brain decreases. And they also correlated that at that time of meditation, people felt more bliss. Now, this is also a diagrammatic representation showing the same, that there is more coherence of the waves over the head. Now, coming to neuroplasticity, this is the new concept. Earlier, we thought that the brain doesn't grow. Now we know that brain can grow not by any medicine or exercise, but by meditation. And this is the Sahaja Yoga meditation study done at the fMRI by Hernandez. He is from Laguna University from Canary Islands, a Spanish university. And he has shown that those people who were long-term meditators have shown that certain areas of the brain which are associated with sustained attention, self-control, and compassion are increased. And these are the yellow areas which we are seeing. So certain right hemispherical, cortical, and subcortical areas. And the very recent 2018-19 study done by Alexandria Dodic at the University of Trento in Italy. And they have shown for the first time, this is a longitudinal study. The earlier study showed that long-term meditators, this study made the people do meditation for 4 weeks, and they showed increase in gray matter density and also more coherence brain activity in the right inferior frontal gyrus. Now coming to this study of drugs, which is a main problem, and you see these days, especially in Mumbai, the menace of drugs, and they showed, Haeckel et al. In 1995 showed that even after 1 week of meditation, about 42% of the people left medicines, and by 1 year, only about 5-6% people were taking drugs. Now, this is the book Medical Science Enlightened, written by Professor Rai with all the researches, was released by President of India, Dr. Shankar Dayal Sharma in 1994. Sahaj Yoga was presented at National Institute of Health by Her Holiness Shri Mataji Nirmala Devi and by Professor Rai, and now with that effect, once a day meditation program is being done at NIH. So this is the head office Bonn, United Nations, where we presented a seminar. This is the WHO conference at Heidelberg. And here also we presented Sahaj Yoga. This is the Indian Embassy on the International Yoga Day. Last year we presented to this Muscat, in Muscat, the Islamic country, Sahaj Yoga, and was taken by all the residents of Muscat very nicely. This is the Petrosvika honorary membership was awarded to Shri Mataji for the Petrosvika Academy, and this is only 12 members have been awarded this membership. Einstein is one of them. Russian award was given to Professor Rai for his studies on Sahaj Yoga. And so thank you very much for your kind attention.
So I'll be speaking about the history and evolution of Sahaj Yoga. So we will begin with Lord Ganesha's blessings with us. We have Lord Ganesha's blessings. And we begin with what is yoga. Yoga is coming from the Sanskrit word yuj, meaning to yoke or to unite. The union we are speaking about is of the physionuclear energy, the kundalini situated in the sacrum bone, which enters the human body in the fetal state. When the fetus is 2.5 to 3 months of age, it enters through the fontanelle bone area, goes down the spine, and then it resides in a dormant form in the sacrum bone. Now coming to what is Sahaj Yoga. Sahaj, the word is a combination of two words, Saha plus Ja. Ja meaning the born with, and another meaning of Sahaj is easy. So an energy which we are born with and easily awakened by a process is what is Sahaj Yoga. The knowledge of Sahaj Yoga was given to us by Her Holiness Shri Mataji Nirmala Devi in the year 1970. After 3 days of continuous meditation on the beach of Nargol, she had a profound divine experience of opening of the Sahasrara and awakening of Mother Kundalini. And after that, she started her work of spreading this divine knowledge of the subtle system which exists in our body, which consists of the Mother Kundalini, 3 energy channels and 7 energy chakras. This is ancient knowledge which is described in ancient Indian scriptures, in Upanishads, in Gyaneshwari. Sant Gyanadeva has described it. So in Yoga Sutra of Patanjali also has description of all the energy centers, that is the chakras and the nadis, and Mother Kundalini's description is also given. So what Shri Mataji has done is basically she has rediscovered this ancient knowledge, and she has given in detail about the knowledge of the Kundalini and the energy centers and the channels for chakras and nadis, and she has correlated it with the modern medicine. So she has said that the right channel is basically the Pingla Nadi. She has correlated the subtle energy system with the autonomic nervous system, and the right and the left. The right, that is the sun channel, the Pingla Nadi, and the left channel, the Ida Nadi, so the moon channel. So the Pingla Nadi, she has these two, she has correlated with the sympathetic nervous system, and the central, that is the Sushumna, she has said that it corresponds to the parasympathetic nervous system of the autonomic nervous system. So she has then also given a sickness and cure hypothesis, in which she has said that the diseases as such, the root cause of the disease, any disease, is lying in the subtle energy system. Like these energy centers centers, that the chakras are basically governing our different body parts and the different organs of our body. Like this heart energy chakra is this called the Anahata chakra, is looking after the heart and the lungs. Similarly, the Pingla Nadi, that is the right side, is concerned, the sun channel is concerned with the actions. So whether it be mental activity or physical activity. So any imbalance, like if a person is too much right-sided, that is too much planning, too much futuristic, ego-oriented, then this person can have, the overactivity of the right channel and the sun channel, giving rise to diseases like diabetes, like hypertension, or on the mental aspects can have insomnia, restlessness, and agitation, and in extreme cases can go to maniac state. Similarly, on the left side, if the person is, which is corresponding to it is governing the emotional aspect of the humans, if it is too much overactivated, then a person can have the opposite, that is a hypotension or any psychosomatic diseases, and like what do you say, you have depression, depression, or even cancer. So all these movements are caused by these diseases, are caused by the person moving to the left side. So when Mother Kundalini rises, it brings us from the right and from the left to the center channel, that is from the sympathetic, which is responsible for the 3 F's. And to meet any emergency situations, we require the sympathetic. So it balances the right and the left and brings us to the parasympathetic. And as it rises, it energizes these different energy centers, brings them into a balance, regenerates the energy centers, which are replenishes the energy there. And as it crosses the 6th energy center placed on the Agnya chakra, it makes a person thoughtless. Normally, a person is not able to stop thinking. So either he is thinking of the past or the future. But as this energy pierces this energy center, placed on the forehead, a person attains a state which is called as thoughtless awareness. And as this energy further rises up, and it pierces the anterior fontanel bone, that is the Sahasrara chakra there, and it pierces the Brahmarandra, then it unites with the cosmic energy. So basically the union that yoga is of your own energy with the cosmic energy, and you become one with the cosmos. And as this happens, the Kundalini is actually actualizing. The hypothesis is that it actualizes in the limbic area of the brain, and then it acts through the HPA axis, that is a hypothalamic pituitary axis. It brings down the sympathetic tone, increases the parasympathetic tone, reduces the stress hormones, and not only reduces the stress hormones, you also have the happy molecules, the endorphins being released, as a result of which the person, either from an agitated state or from a depressed state, achieves a balance, becomes relaxed, and then becomes happy and joyful. So this is the hypothesis, and this is how Sahaja Yoga works. And the imbalance is because of, as I said, in the imbalance in the energy system, subtle energy system, is the root cause of any disease. So this is how Sahaja Yoga works. So Shri Mataji has not only given this sickness and cure hypothesis, but she has also, so basically what is happening is you are attaining peace, you are attaining a stress-free life, the stressors remaining the same. It is the perception in the mind that is being changed, and that is how Sahaja Yoga is working. So, and you have the drug of efficiency, that is, you tend to be joyful. So what Shri Mataji has given to us is, she has not only given to us this method, she has given in-depth knowledge about the subtle system, its correlation with the body and how it is affecting, but she has given us a method by which the person can achieve mind, body, spirit integration, and this also harness the potential energy, and the qualities of these different energy centers, that is innocence, creativity, peace, confidence, communication, increase in concentration power, and integration. So that is, you achieve a 3 C's, that is, you become calm, cool, collected, and as well as I would say 4 C's, calm, cool, collected, and confident. And this is how you become, your immune system is strengthened, you become dynamic, and you become confident. So all these medical aspects have been very well researched by different researchers, and which are published in international journals. And we have this is a chapter, Sahaja Yoga Meditation Fast Way to Reduce Stress and Enhance Well-Being, of Dr. Professor Rai and myself. There in this medicine update, a chapter is been published from more than last 5 years. It is being published in this every year. The new volume comes up and it is released in the All India Physicians Conference, which is held annually. And so after this, Srimataji wanted to also see how it is helping with patients, how in the different diseases. So she inaugurated a International Sahaja Yoga Research and Health Center, which is placed in Navi Mumbai. And my father-in-law, late Professor U.C. Rai, he was the founder director there. Srimataji made him the director, and this is a doctors' conference where you see Srimataji and Professor Rai, my U.C. Rai, and this is Dr. David Spiro from London, UK. And then he was there from 1996 when the health center was inaugurated by Srimataji till 2001, after which I was there from 2001 to 2013. A dear friend there who had come to achieve to be there in health center. And subsequently, Srimataji had another health center opened in the northern part of India in Greater Noida. This is at the inaugural function, Dr. Sandeep Rai there. And we have been going over and spreading this message of Srimataji, the knowledge that she has given. This is at the BRICS International Conference at Moscow, Russia, all the ambassadors of BRICS nations there. And this is at MGM Institute of Health Sciences where we work. And this is at the Medicon the conference which was held there. And we are again speaking about Sahaja Yoga and giving the initiation to it, a practical experience. All our doctors, senior faculty members and students there taking this. And now before winding up, so I was saying it is Srimataji has not only given this, we have a practical experience, because Srimataji has taught us how to balance our energies on the right side, on the left side, by using simple natural elements. And this is how you balance the left channel, keeping left hand stationary, right hand towards the Mother Earth. You balance the right overactive channel by keeping right hand on your lap, left hand towards the sky. You balance it with the air element. And this is the initiation in which the left hand denotes the desire side, and it is kept stationary. Right is kept at different positions. On the heart level it is kept. At a conference there we have spoken. So, and then at the forehead it is kept. Then finally it is kept on the top of the head. So we keep our hand at different positions. Small children, elderly, everybody can practice this, and it is free of cost. So Srimataji has given a method of awakening of this energy. So we will try to have a practical experience. So we will keep our left hand stationary. We will just keep our hand. Close your eyes, keep both your feet on the Mother Earth. We will have a moment of silence before we wind up. So we keep our hand on the heart level and we make a prayer. But request you all, keep your hand, left hand on your lap, right hand on the heart. Just make the prayer, praying to your mother energy. Mother, I'm pure Atman. Mother, I'm pure Atman. Bring your right hand onto your forehead. Bend your forehead a little bit towards the Mother Earth. Here, just make the prayer. O Divine, I forgive everyone. Please forgive me for any mistake done knowingly or unknowingly. I forgive. I forgive. O Divine, I forgive. Now take your palm, the center of the palm, keep it on the top of your head and rotate your hand in a clockwise direction, moving the scalp over your head, and just make the prayer to your mother energy. Mother, please give me my self-realization. Mother, please give me my self-realization. Mother, please give me my self-realization. Bring down your right hand onto your lap. Just try to have your attention on top of your head. And you can feel your mother energy rising up. We fold our hands and thank the divine energy for giving us this moment of silence. Thank you, divine, for giving us this experience. Slowly open your eyes. So this is what is Sahaj Yoga meditation. It is free of cost, that you can go online. So thank you for joining me. Namaskar.